Okay, what gear should you buy besides a camera? It's a good question. I'm glad you asked. So I'm going to tell you what I think. Number one, I would say just get 2 lenses. Don't worry about buying lots of lenses. Well, here, if you're going to buy 1 lens, buy 24 to 70. You'll never regret it. It's a great focal range. Works on a variety of sensors. 18 to 35s are cool, but you'll love the 24 to 70. But if you want to buy 2 primes, which I think is a more bold move and will make you gather some more cinematic images, cinematic's overused, it'll make you be able to shoot some stuff that's maybe different looking, let's say that. The 24 mil and a 50 mil are 2 great focal lengths. If you can get down to a 20 mil, that's really fast. That'll give you even some more flexibility. Some people love the 35. I really love the 35. But with a lot of cameras these days, like the A7 III here, you can go to S35 mode instead of full frame. So your 24 mil that you buy effectively becomes a 35 mil. And your 50 mil on S35 mode effectively becomes an 85 mil. So it's like having 4 lenses for the price of 2 when you get cameras like this that allow you to change where you're sampling the sensor. The FX9 does this as well. So I honestly go on shoots and I just rock a 50 and a 24 and I'm golden. That's all I need. The next piece of gear is your mic. Invest in a good mic. The voice of your character in your film is what's going to guide the story. It's going to express who they are. It's going to be able to translate their heart onto screen, or rather into people's ears. And if you have a crappy microphone, it makes your beautiful images actually look a lot worse. See, people have a tolerance for bad images, overexposed, because we're on iPhones, we're on Zoom calls, everything looks junky these days. But bad audio is where people's tolerance falls apart and their distraction sets in. So if you have bad audio that's peaking, we don't hear someone quite well, that's when your film can start to really hurt. So get a good microphone before you get a good lens. Honestly, buy a good microphone. The great thing with a good microphone is if you take care of it, it's gonna last you 20 years, even longer. It could last you 30 years. So invest in a good microphone because you're gonna buy 1 good mic, and if you don't break it, you're gonna have it probably most of, if not your whole career. Where lenses, or more so camera bodies, you buy a new one every 4 years. Another thing you should invest in is a slate. And we lost ours, we actually need a new one. We'll show you our slate. This is what we're using right now for the video. This has no clapper, but we're talking about additional gear. That's what we were talking about in this video. So we're using a whiteboard. But this is great because now my editor knows exactly when he looks at the first frame of the image, because I held this up at the beginning, additional gear, they know exactly what this shot is. Getting a slate helps you organize your film before you ever get into the edit. Having a slate will also help you sync sound, so you don't have to just clap. You can have the exact scene, where you are, all the information you need, and you hit a slate. We should actually buy another slate. Let's look into that. We should maybe go to the AV shop. The next piece of gear is a camera cage, and I spoke about this in the camera video, but getting a cage on your camera, I don't have a cage right now on this camera, but at least get a top handle. The top handle is so important. Every camera should come with a top handle. It's a travesty that they don't have them built in. That's why I like buying cinema cameras, like the FS7 and my FX9. They all come with a top handle on the camera, because that's how you should carry a camera. When you have a top handle, the camera just rests in your hand. It uses gravity to stabilize this. I'm not gonna go into all the reasons. If you wanna go to my YouTube channel, I have so many videos about top handles. Actually, my #1 Google search is Mark Bone top handle. I'm a big believer in them. I do all my filming. You can look at all this BTS footage. I'm always holding my camera by the top handle. Even if it's a mirrorless camera, I still will always put a top handle on it. Now, sometimes getting a cage allows 2 things. One, you can add some more accessories. You can put the mic on a different part of the camera, and having that cage reinforces the hot shoe so your top handle never pulls out of it. But get a top handle. The last piece of gear you should be thinking about, not the last, there's lots of gear, but invest in a good RAID. R-A-I-D, RAID, a hard drive RAID system. So the way I actually do things these days though is I dump everything to my RAID 0, and then I immediately put it onto the Matrix. I upload it to an online server. And why I love Matrix is because I can just dump everything up there. It's one of the fastest connections. It's way faster than Dropbox. And what's great too is if I keep everything in the same folder and I dump new files there, I just have to drag that root folder onto the Matrix. I drag it up into the server there, and then it only takes the files that are new, so there's no duplicates. Where with Dropbox, you have to kind of manage, is this in the right folder? And you put it on there and it slowly uploads. And when you want to download a big file off Dropbox, you got to zip it, and then the zip file doesn't work, and then you have to re-download again. But what I like about the Matrix is it's so quick, and I can download everything super quick. And when I want to download new files, like if my editor puts them up there, I can just drag that back onto that, but I'll go into a whole explanation for this. But what's great about the Matrix is we're giving you guys a subscription to it. All the details should have been emailed to you, but make sure to use that, because what's great is when you upload your files onto the Matrix is they're there. They don't go anywhere, they're backed up, so then you have peace of mind to know that your footage is not going to get lost. Those are the pieces of gear I think you should be really thinking about. There's so many pieces of gear out there, but these are kind of the main ones that I think every filmmaker needs, every filmmaker should have, and that you should never skip over. Oh, how could I forget? Get a monitor. Get a big monitor for your camera. When I buy my cameras, even if it's a FX9, I never use the monitor that comes with the camera. I still find these little viewfinder monitors garbage, whether it's Canon, Sony, Panasonic, anyone who makes a viewfinder, the Blackmagic, Ursa, the one that flips out, they're all garbage. You gotta buy something like a Small HD or the BM5, another type of monitor. You want to get an external monitor because you can see the focus better, you can add LUTs to it, and you're getting a more immersive experience that's closer to what you're going to see in the edit suite. Get a monitor. This is so important. That is so totally worthwhile investing into. I still use the Small HD we're using right beside the camera right now. I've had that for like 6 years or something, which is longer than the TV I own. These things last a long time, and they're very, very important and very crucial for the filming you're doing. I've beat that camera up, that monitor so much. It's gone around the world with me, has scratches, all sorts of things. Still kicking it. I love it. I'm not going to get a new one until that one breaks. So those are the gear that you guys want. Let me know if you have any more questions about gear. I'm semi-passionate about gear, but not really. For me, if the gear works and I'm used to it, I'll keep going with it because I want to be focusing on the story and what I'm filming, not on the camera or lenses and filters. The filters are actually important. We could talk about that in another video if you want me to. But don't get too caught up into the gear if you want to make it far in your career. That rhymes. Worry about gear and you'll fail in your career. Worry about story and you'll get all the glory. It's been a long day of filming these interviews, but that's the mantra for you guys. All right, I'll see you in the next one.